Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We'll cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. And we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things. We see them today, man. We got a show that really surprised me that I cannot wait to get into. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, for those of you who've been following the channel for the past week, you know we've had some pretty strong views on the Bronny James situation and what's occurring with him. We believe that his father is a major component of a lot of the stress that he's going through and a lot of the criticism that he's receiving by basically going out there and saying that this guy is better than NBA players right now and all of that stuff, right? I understand hyping up your son and all of that, but you put a lot of pressure on him by doing that. Something that LeBron fans cannot seem to understand this line of thinking. I don't know why. Something that's so obvious has become such a difficult thing to grasp with. But one of the things I've been saying as well in the shows is, where are the people in big media that are going to call it like they see it with this particular story? Where are these people? I have spent so much time asking, where are you guys? Because all I see is people within the independent space who seem to have the courage to go out there and say what it is they really believe. But then something interesting happened. Yesterday, I was going through the internet and I came across a show that happens to be on FS1. And the name of the show is called The Carton Show, right? The Carton Show. And it features David Jacoby, who used to be on ESPN with Jalen Rose. Remember him? Cody Decker, Greg Carton. I think the show is named after him. So I tuned into this show to see what they were discussing, right? Because the show was doing very well. It was getting a lot of views. And they were discussing the Bronny James situation. And as I'm watching these gentlemen kind of go back and forth, they start speaking about the Bronny situation in a way that I haven't heard anyone on TV speak about it. They were speaking like independent guys, basically calling it down the line and not basically going up there and just basically twerking it up and finding ways to cover it up and not make it, just desensitize it and make it so wonderful and sweet for everyone. No, these guys were calling it like, I was like, damn, they allow people like this on TV and Fox Sports. I was shocked. And a lot of the people that were reacting to their commentary were actually refreshed and pleased to hear people like this on TV discussing this issue, because they were calling it straight down the line. And I was like, wow, man, we got to share this information here with the audience because they got to hear what these gentlemen had to say. So what we want to do now is want to play a quick compilation of some of the things that they had to say on the Carton Show. And then want to come back and react to some of the commentary. Take a listen to this here.
Jaylen Brown is all of us. This is an unmitigated disaster.
There's Jaylen Brown.
Unmitigated disaster.
Yep.
We're past that dangerous line. You don't have to sell Lakers fans. At the end of the day, you don't owe much to the fans. You have to sell the other teammates. If I am on this Lakers Summer League team, I'm ticked off. I'm annoyed. I'm frustrated. This kid is getting on the floor. He is not an NBA player. He was never an NBA player heading into the draft. We knew that this was going to happen, that he was going to get taken by the Lakers, but the bar was set low. The bar was set low. We talked. David, you said heading into Summer League, he had to do one thing competently. Just make some three-pointers. Just be comfortable.
How's that going?
Well, it's kind of like failing a class. You know when you fail a class and you say...
Plex does.
Plex, have you ever had the teacher say to you, you know, it's kind of hard to fail my class. Like, you have to actively try to fail the class, or no?
Or just not show up.
Okay.
He made it look easy.
By the way, they were like, F is an A.
0 for 15.
Yeah.
I mean, it's harder to potentially... That's harder than going 2 for 15. To me, guys... This is just a mess. And I look at this whole situation, and it's sad because when he had his cardiac incident last summer, his camp should have automatically said, you know what? Let him have a year to just enjoy his life, a gap year. Sure. Instead, this is a disaster.
Yeah, and look, now you have guys, my buddy Doug Gottlieb was coaching Whiskey Green Bay. He said, look, he couldn't start for me. He'd probably make the team, but he wouldn't start for me. You obviously, we all talk about Danny Hurley, at Connecticut. Couldn't play for Hurley's team. You said that a few weeks ago. And now that you're where I think they're in a dangerous place is he's done what most of us thought he would do, and that's embarrass himself.
Right.
And I think you all of a sudden, for all the other guys that aren't getting the same opportunities and looks because their last name isn't James, they're going to resent the kid.
He's embarrassing the organization.
Yes.
Rob Pelinka and JJ Redick, they stand before us and they give us these outlandish excuses of how or when he's going to be a good or competent NBA player. And it's never going to happen. So now they have to answer some questions. What's the justification for giving this man a fully guaranteed contract at the second round of the 55th pick?
Right.
You have to explain that to me.
Sure.
It's everybody else.
And here's why they're not going to, because there's a level of hubris with Rob Pelinka and clearly JJ Redick, who's a douche knuckle all day long, where they think they know more basketball than everybody else. And basketball is an interesting sport where every diehard fan, us included, all feel like we know as much basketball as anybody on the planet, and we can have a PhD level conversation about basketball because we love it so much and we watch it so much. And like you always say, Plax, the tape don't lie.
It don't lie.
We know that he can't play. Look, we knew he couldn't play at this level, and now he's just confirming what we know.
Right.
100%.
I mean, it's unfathomable to think that we've gotten to this point. But you know why we've gotten to this point? Because LeBron James at one point put out there on social media that his kid was better than some of the guys in the NBA.
Here's the tweet right here.
Here's that tweet from March the 6th, 2023. Man, Bronny definitely better than some of these cats I've been watching on League Pass today. Lightweight hilarious. LeBron, what League Pass were you watching? International? I mean, Australian? I don't New Zealand? What League Pass were you watching? You created this monster. LeBron James has had a legendary career. Nobody's going to take that away from him. People say that the decision was his worst hour. No, he's a father. You set your kid up for failure when you sent that tweet.
So you heard what they had to say. I'm sure as you guys were listening to it, you were like, there's no way that these people on TV speaking the way that they are about this issue. Folks, they are. They are. That was an FS1 show. They are. I couldn't believe it. Using words like unmitigated, that you would never hear anyone in all of those major shows talk. Even on the show, I don't know if this is a morning show, I don't know what time slot they're in. You would never hear somebody like this on Undisputed talk like that. You will never hear it. You will never hear anybody like this talk like this on Speak. You will never hear somebody like this talk on First Things First. You will never hear somebody talk like this on Get Up. You will never hear somebody talk like this on First Take. You won't hear anyone talk about this situation like this at all. They just will not. Do you know why I'm saying that? Because they have shown the inability to do so thus far. They've shown the inability. Usually the people that are having these views are independent guys, which should say a lot about the guys that we see on TV. Because it's like we're all looking at the same thing, but they're trying to tell us, no, what you're looking at is not really what you're looking at. You're looking at something else, right? You're looking at something else. Look, the fact of the matter is the following. Should Bronny be making as much news as he is as the 55th pick? No, he should not, because 55th picks generally don't make this amount of news. But Bronny is in a unique situation because he's the first son of a great player in LeBron James. So when you have the last name of a player like LeBron James, there are going to be some expectations. Forget about the people trying to tell you something else. It is the reality of life. When you're the son, especially the first son of a very popular person that did well in whatever field, and you want to go into that field, people are going to be looking at you. Okay, what you got? Can you live up to your father? Can you do something like that? That's the first thing. Then when you have the father himself saying, folks, this guy is already a pro. He can play in the NBA right now. You heard them. I'm looking at League Pass right now, and I'm looking at some of these guys. He's better than some of them. That's what he was saying. Could he play on the Lakers? He absolutely could play. He's saying things like that. So people are like, well, damn, LeBron James? He's saying his son can be in the NBA right now. We got to go see him. And I think what happened was LeBron put unnecessary pressure on Bronny. That's what happened. What LeBron could have did was, and I'm not telling him how to raise his child, obviously, but another thing could have been just keep quiet. Keep quiet and let him go out there and do his thing. And he'll find his way. And the criticism and the expectations won't be so high. But when you have the father praising him the way that he does, you're going to put a lot of pressure on him. You're going to. Then when you have the media as well hyping it up as they do with ESPN, Bleacher Report, all of these websites and all of that, that adds additional pressure. So for people to act like, well, why are we talking about a 55th pick? You need to be asking a lot of those guys because they're the ones that continuously promote him every single day. That has played a major role in this entire equation here. Whether you like it or not, it is the reality of the situation. And it's the way it is going to be. Now, some people do thrive under this type of pressure. Some people do. Some people have the mental fortitude to absorb it and just move forward. And then some people, it breaks them, right? It breaks them. So we have to wait and see how things go. But my macro message for you guys here is that, man, I'm surprised to see that they have people like this discussing this on TV the way that they did. So the question I have for the audience is, what is your take on FS1 allowing people like this to talk about the situation the way that they did? Do you believe that is good for sports or bad? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we catch you guys on the next show.